All right. Well, we've made it to week number 3. I'm Brendan. This is Kevin. And this is our Loam podcast. Honestly, I can't believe that it's come this fast. Can you, Kevin? I mean, 3 weeks, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, after planning for a very long time, at least it felt like that. Yeah. It's just everything's happening really quick.
It is. Yeah, it's crazy how
great news was stuff is shipping. There's just a lot happening again. Every week is just as busy.
Right. Well, even better is we're not on the Suez Canal side. So luckily all of our stuff is shipping across Pacific. So at least we're moving.
But if you have that rock shock fork, it's still waiting there.
Oh, it's going to be brutal. I read this morning, it's like 500 ships that are stuck back behind each other. So it's getting crazy. Yeah. Kevin, I'm loving your background. What's going on in that? Actually, I know because I was there, but it was pretty sweet. But yeah, why don't you share a little bit about that?
So this right here, my background is Milepost 35, White East Academy. We had the opportunity to go down there in the summer. The kids had tons of fun. We went a second time as a family group. So we put together a big, there was like 12 of us or something, friends and family.
Yeah, it was great.
We got to go. It was tons of fun. So we got to ride with the kids. It wasn't just dropping the kids off at camp. We were part of the camp. Christine was our instructor. Dern Fuego is her name on Instagram. Follow her. In this specific video, she was giving me pointers. It took me an hour to finally hit this. And she's giving me all these pointers. And she's saying, do this, do this, do this. Don't do this, do this, do this, do this. Well, in my mind, all I heard was, don't lean back. And so I'm like, okay, don't do this, do this. Okay, lean back. Okay, so I'm at the top of the hill. And if you look at the video, I'm coming and cooking. The whole idea was, I'm going to lean back because of ramp. It was a good jump. It's actually very similar to yours, just not as tall. So I come in cooking. And I don't even know if I did a run up on this one. I think I did full on. So I come flying in and I lean back, which again, Christine told me not to. And come in right at the top of the lip right there. The rear tire hit my butt. And that's why you saw me eject. So it's and it just shoot to the moon. No one got hurt. The bike was junk, so I got rid of it. No, actually, it's one of my favorite bikes I've ever ridden. Commensal Clash. The bike didn't make the jump. I did. I was trying to do a Superman, but in the whole scheme of things, it was tons of fun. I learned so much off this one jump of not making this and doing it wrong than I ever have on any jump I've ever done. So I have so much better form. Not saying I'm a good jumper, but I'm 10 times better than I was in this video.
It's crazy. Being there firsthand, it was pretty wild to see because all of a sudden you see a bike flying and Kevin just ejecting and everyone was like, ah! It was wild.
What it doesn't show is that airbag, was it like 8 feet maybe tall?
At least. It's big. Maybe bigger than that.
I don't know if it showed. Oh, I cut it off. At the end of the video, I fall out of the side. And then that gap, 20 plus feet. It was big.
Yeah.
So it was the biggest gap I hit at the time. It was just so much fun. I need to go back for redemption. I'll come back soon.
Right. Well,
again, Christine, she's a good instructor. She told me not to do what I did.
Well, and they have their biggest. They have a bigger airbag there now. Did you see recently? Yeah. They've posted about their large, extremely big airbag. That they got set up.
One kid's doing a double backflip into it.
It's nuts. It's nuts. But I mean, what's so cool about this video is while, it's freakishly scary. You landed on a big soft pillow. The getting off of that big soft pillow was still a little bit of a jarring experience, but it could have been so much worse. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's why the soft pillow is there. But we also learned so much about this, and we'll talk about that in the near future of our features. So let's go to you. You tell me about your airbag experience.
So, I spent quite a bit of time getting ready for our a podcast today and trying to get a video to have in my background, and for whatever reason, I just cannot find where I saved it. So I'll share the video later on, but it's one of my wife, actually at Milepost as well. She was doing some exercises in their small, so they have an indoor portion of their facility that is the skate park, but they have an airbag that's set up in one end of the skate park, and a nice little kicker that you can get some speed on and just learn how to flow into a jump. It's a little step up. And the first time Tatum hit it, she did one of those little too slow over roll-ins, enough to make it over the top of the lip, but not enough to really go anywhere. And her front tire digs right into the airbag, and there she goes right over the handlebars. And it was pretty funny. But it was, for her, it was truly the first time she'd ever hit a jump of any size. I mean, other than doing a root roll and some of the other things that we do when we're going down a trail, it was the first time that she actually, hit anything of magnitude that wasn't a tabletop. Yeah. And same thing, like she learned a lot from that experience, and she was totally safe and fine. And she actually ended up hitting that jump 4 or 5 more times after that. And eventually she was landing on her tires and things were progressing. And it's really that progression that's been overwhelming in this airbag lifestyle, or this airbag experience, is to see how quickly the progression happens. So we went to a mountain bike park this weekend, and Tatum hit the first couple jumps on a trail called Gravy Train. And once again, that's pretty amazing. It's a gap trail, and while they're not huge gaps, it still was fun to see her, progress in what she's doing. And, she's a cool mom, but she's a mom. And sometimes people feel like, oh, I'm just a mom, I can't do it. And that's not reality.
Well, in the airbag in your background right there.
Yeah.
Tatum hit it before I did.
She did. And that was what, to her, it was like, okay, I've got my consequences of doing this is a lot less. And so her confidence in being able to just go for it was much higher.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, it's truly just pretty cool, pretty cool feature to have in any backyard, to have such an amazing progression tool that can be done literally anywhere in the world. I mean, you just need to have enough run up to be able to launch off of a kicker.
Definitely. So that brings us right into our next conversation, Brendan. Mm-hmm. How about you bring up the M35?
Oh, the M35. Well, as you can probably guess, the M35 is a throwback to our milepost days. And that's the name of our Flatlander. So we've named it the M35 Flatlander, and that's our pillow style of airbag. It's going to be just a truly amazing tool for progression. So we have our Sessions, which is our 4-foot lander style. And then we have the M35, which is going to be our Flatlander style of airbag. And this one is 18 feet wide, 18 feet long, and 6 feet in thickness. And so it's really set up well for progression. It's going to be really cool to see how they all fit together. And then we especially feel like this is going to be such an excellent fit as far as a Flatlander.
Definitely. You mentioned progression, and all of our airbags are designed for any age, any ability. They're designed to progress. So they're designed to teach you to do more. We don't have a beginner airbag. We have an airbag that you're comfortable on, and we just grow together, and it's all the progression going forward. On this specific airbag that you see in the background, there's that huge, what would you call it, around like a fence or a roll around the whole outside of that bag.
Yeah.
So
kind of
on
a bumper.
M35, we studied a whole bunch of airbags. We rode this airbag and a couple others, and we actually chose not to do that. Why is that, Brendan?
So a couple of reasons. First, we felt like the bumper itself sometimes can be an impedance to safety. If you don't quite make the full edge of the airbag, then it's a lot more possible for your bike or yourself to be snagged on that edge. And so that was the first, mindset, was that bumper all the way around may impede the progression if you don't quite make it, or you make it just enough that you can get on the airbag. The second is, we really were and are concerned about the longevity of your lander and your airbag. We want your product to be a very long-lasting, good quality product. And when you have edges and things that pedals can get snagged on, or body parts coming off of the airbag to get off of it can get snagged on, that it's going to put more wear and tear and maybe some undue stress on your lander. So our lander design is one that's designed as a continuous. Well, it really doesn't have that lip on the edge. It just has a free flowing edge on all four sides.
Yeah. So as this M35 pops up, you'll see that their cover, an extra heavy duty cover, wraps all the way around the airbag, all the way down to the ground. Reasons for that is, as you see right here, if you're on this airbag, a pedal can catch that edge and actually cut holes. By having a smooth edge, more likely to roll over. Plus, the cover will go all the way over the top. Where this one just has a cover on the top, which is that gray section in the middle. Our cover will go all the way down to the ground. Oh, there she is. Look at that beauty.
There she is.
Pillow.
That's right. So it is, just nice big pillow, and you'll notice once again that all the way around the edges of it, it's got a nice smooth transition. And isn't she pretty? Look at all that Loam Lander love. So that's the M35, and it is really well suited. I was talking to one of our customers on Saturday who just ordered a Flatlander, and they're really excited about it. It is the prettiest bag you've ever seen, and I'm sure all of you will see it. It's a customer that if you live in the Pacific Northwest, you know them very well. But it's a really cool looking Flatlander.
That one is. Keeping that one a secret until we see it in person, I'm guessing.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, we don't want to share it too early. Who knows? It might pop up on Instagram sometime soon. We'll see what happens.
I like it. What else can you tell us about this airbag?
So some other features of this particular airbag is it's obviously designed so that it can be staked down. So you can have that, in place very well with some yard stakes. Its design, once again, is there as that progression tool, but it also pairs very, very well with the 6.5 foot lander as far as your kicker. So you could use the exact same kicker very easily between those two different landers, both the slope style one and the Flatlander. And
then with that kind of goes into the industry trends, right?
It does.
And that's kind of why we lean to this direction also. And part of the trends it doesn't matter if it's your bike or clothing that you wear or whatever you're doing, is all about customization. And so people want options. People want to be different than the others. So we're allowing that to our customers. We have some cool tools in the near future that we won't talk about now, because that'll be another conversation itself. It'll be a fun launch. But the customization of this bag is everything from colors to logos. You want to elaborate? Yeah.
So what's crazy is the number of colors that we can put on our landers. It's almost endless, the possibilities as far as how you want to manage these. We also can do some very, very large logo printings, almost anything that you can imagine, as long as the quality of that logo design and or image is good enough and not too ornate. We can really make your lander as unique to you as it possibly can be.
If my uncle had a bullseye, I might have actually made it the airbag.
That's right. Exactly. And that's what's cool about this is you could create a game. We mentioned this last week that one of our customers is talking about putting a game on their top sheet. So yeah, and it's as far as trends too. I mean, we're seeing a lot more of both professionals and influencer style of riders that are getting landers in their yards, and that is becoming pretty pretty common feed and trend. In fact, if you even watch YouTube in a mountain biking style of way, you definitely know that there's lots of these that are starting to pop up in the market, and they're coming up for a lot of reasons. They're super fun, and then they also are such a great tool for someone to progress and get better.
And backyard trails, like that's been the theme for this last year, is everybody trying to stay close to home. They're not traveling as much. They're hanging out their small circle of friends. They are riding with their families. They are staying home, staying very close. Like that's what they're doing. And so having an airbag accessible to you just helps you out even more.
Right. Well, I think that's one of the few benefits of this COVID excitement that we've had for the past year, is it's grounded a lot of people in being able to do things that they haven't been able to do in the past, or haven't felt like they've had the time to do in the past, and it's brought some amazing ingenuity into a lot of trail systems and a lot of people's backyards. Mine is one of those. In fact, that's probably one of the catalysts of this whole adventure starting, is having a need to get out there and have something uber local that my family could enjoy. So, Kevin, this week we asked some questions on our Instagram, and we got some great responses. And so what I thought we could do is maybe you ask me a few and I'll ask you a few, and we'll just answer a few of those questions. How do you feel about that?
I think it would be good.
Cool. Do you want to start, or you want me to start?
Well, just because I had to ask this one for you.
Yes.
Who's your favorite YouTuber, and why is it Backyard Shredder?
Why is it Backyard Shredder? So Backyard Shredder, they are really, really good friends of ours. And so I think that, if you haven't watched Jake and Bobby, any of their videos, you absolutely need to, because they're super fun and we have an awesome time with them. So, obviously that's number one, although my son Cruz might say that he needs to be number one because he is related to me. So maybe I'd say Cruz. Beyond that, we have Beckham's pretty good too, which is my middle son. So I guess, that's a hard question to answer. Favorite YouTuber.
Backyard's down to 3. Sorry, Jake.
That's right. Sorry, Jake. You're high on the list, and now you're no, you're still high on the list. We watch a lot of YouTube at my house, which I guess it's free to admit now, because I think every household watches a lot of YouTube. We've had some really fun experiences with a lot of YouTube mountain bike style of people. I really enjoy, watching there's just tons of them. I can't really specifically say any that are at the very top of my list, because I enjoy watching a lot. I also have a lot of varied interests. And so I have all of the outdoor style of YouTubers that I follow a lot of, the Casey Neistats and some of those others. I have a YouTube addiction that's probably just as strong as my mountain bike addiction.
I end up in rabbit holes. I'll start watching YouTube, and then I'm like, how did I even get here?
It's crazy. But I learn a lot, and YouTube has taught me immense amount of stuff when it comes to mountain biking, or it comes to, other things. So I'd say that my favorite YouTube training style of video series is from Fluid Ride. They do a really good job. I know one of their coaches very well, and they just do such a nice job of explaining things in a way that I can understand them. So if you haven't checked out Fluid Ride, they are top tier, excellent resource for training style of videos, and they know what they're doing. They're really good. Here's one for you. We have been getting this question a lot, and I know that we can't necessarily give the full answer yet. But we're being asked quite a bit where our pricing is going to be when it comes to our landers. So can you give kind of either a range or kind of just a feeling for what people are going to expect to spend when it comes to a airbag lander from Loam Lander?
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to start roughly right around 3,000. And they go all the way up to that almost 14-foot one is a little over $9,000. right around there. And we're still dialing in the final pricing. Our goal is to be extremely competitive, but we're not trying to lowball, because that's not what we're doing. We want to provide the best quality product. So some of the things that we're doing is we're offering more features than some of our competitors. And it's not necessarily better or worse or anything like that. It's just more features that will benefit you and the airbag for longevity. Stuff is like the ground cloth, the M35 behind you right now, the cover that wraps all the way around. On normal wear and tear, we're going to offer lifetime free patches. I mean, that's crazy. 4 years from now, if you rip your airbag because a pedal went through the top sheet, give us a call. We'll take care of it. Right. Hopefully it never does, because the way we're designing it, it should last. And that's why we're putting that warranty in there. We can't really necessarily say the exact price right now. We're still finalizing some of the stuff. Our website officially might get delayed a little bit, but it is what it is. Launching stuff out. We have a lot of fun stuff happening, but at the end of the day, we want to provide you the most features, bang for the buck, but still the highest quality product.
Right. Yeah.
You want to add to that? Did I miss something?
No, you're right on. And really, when it comes to pricing, we're extremely competitive when it comes to pricing. As most of us know, we can spend a little and spend it many, many times, or you can spend a proper amount once and get a good, extremely good quality product. And that's our goal, is to sell the best product we can at an extremely competitive price, but also our value is second to none. Really, when you look at all of the things that our landers are going to come with as a standard, it is of a value that you can't replicate with anyone else in the market. It truly is going to be an extremely high value for your dollar, and we want you to enjoy your lander. We want you to be able to have faith and trust in it, and also when your friends come and ride it and they want to buy a lander, that you'll say, hey, you need to go use Loam Lander, because first of all, they're the best. And then second of all, you get so much more for the dollar that you're spending with them.
And more for the dollar. You want to make it your lander. The customization that we're going to offer is, if you want that bag to be orange, we'll give you an orange bag. Right. If you want a picture of a buffalo on top, I don't know why I came up with that, a buffalo on top, you can put a buffalo on there. You can leave it our teal color. You can leave it as Loam Lander. So there's so many different options for you, from sizes to designs and features that will continue on as our podcast move forward too on other bags.
Right. Really quick, let's kind of throw in launch wise. We're shooting for a soft launch of our website in the next few weeks, and that will be a fully functional. You can order an airbag, and it can get in production and get ready to be sent out to you. Official launch is going to come towards the beginning of May. We're waiting on a few really, really exciting marketing pieces that we're putting together, and we just need a little bit more time to get that rolling. But I guess we can maybe make that soft announcement. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay. Well,
and our website will continue adding as we go, because we have some fun things that are going to happen in the near future. Each other one more question.
Okay.
This is a question I'm going to ask you. Okay. How long have we been making airbags? It's a fair question, right? Because we're the new company.
We are the new company. We started this airbag process in August, and our first lander went through production in October. And from that point forward, we've just been working like crazy banshees, trying to get everything, kind of moving the direction we want it to. We did get a couple other questions. One from IP Freely. I don't think that this is a real person, Kevin. And then Seymour Butts also asked us some questions, but and Amanda Hug and Kiss. But the IP Freely honestly was pretty funny. And so I'm going to ask myself this question because I know who asked us this particular question. I'm not going to call them out live on this podcast, but I am going to answer their question using them as an example. So IP Freely asks, what's your most embarrassing bathroom moment out on the trails? And
I didn't see that question.
Oh, it was a direct message.
Oh,
Yeah. And so I want to say, Mr. IP Freely, my most funny one was when, maybe you had a little more free rolling day and we're really nervous about making it back to the trailhead. And luckily Tatum has her Go Girl bag with her all the time. And she was there to save the day. Actually, I don't think it was necessary, but anyways, it's sometimes bathroom moments on the trail come up at the most inopportune time, and it is nice to have a very well stocked hip pack that has a we call it our Go Girl bag. It's freshening wipes and all that stuff, because you just never know when that's going to happen. And
yes.
So
sometimes it's not peeing freely, it's other stuff.
Exactly. Sometimes other stuff comes up. No, it's just kind of funny. So
that is Tatum. She has everything.
She does. And it's annoying at times to carry that big pack, but on the other side, I'm surprised at how much we use that bag.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, this has been a fun podcast. I hope that you all got some good information out of it. We talked last week about a loamer, and we're going to kind of still leave that out there, what a loamer is. Keep on thinking about that. I can tell you something though, the loamer experience has taken some enormous steps forward in this past week. So we are pretty stoked about maybe what a loamer is.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. Like, we already have a following that's coming on quick, and it's just fun to see some of the replies and the excitement, and everybody else's excitement is making us excited. And we're already like little kids and giddy in the candy store. And we want Loamlander to launch, and we have some big things happening, and we're going to be sharing that. I know we keep on saying that, but we have a lot of stuff happening. It's just tons of fun to share our experience with everybody. It's tons to have these podcasts. And then it's excited for Loamlander. Like it's going to be so much fun.
It is. Oh, I'm like the same thing. I just, every single conversation we've had over the past couple of weeks, especially about these really, and once again, I don't mean to tease, but we're going to tease because that's kind of fun in its own sense of the way it works. But we've got some really fun stuff happening, and Kevin and I have been talking about these over, the past many weeks, and they just both get us so like jazzed up and excited about where Loamlander is going. And it's going to be definitely incredible. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thank you.
Moving quick.
It is. It's moving so fast. Thank you for sharing a few minutes of your day with us. We hope that it was valuable and that you got maybe a little something, maybe a little entertainment to help your day go more smoothly. We encourage you to check out loamlander.com, especially over the next couple of weeks, because it will be in a soft launch. And there we are. The Loamlander. There's one of our patches. Honestly, here's one thing that we'd be happy to do. Anyone that's listening to this podcast and messages either Kevin or I on Instagram, we will send you a couple of Loamlander stickers and a patch. So if you are hearing this, send us a message and we will send those to you right away. So anyways, thanks again. Enjoy your day, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Get out and ride.
That's right.